this starts with a little collecting gather on the end of the smallest blowpipe. To make the bottle, I do as much as I possibly can without reheating. Now, an essential thing is to have the bottom of the vessel be the thickest part. So I'm going to marver this to a cylindrical shape. Notice I spend the least possible time on the marver. I just sort of poke at it. Now I'll blow the bubble. And I want the bubble to go about halfway out. The tip is thick, as you see. I marver it so the tip is both pointed and has been chilled. Now here's my first reheat. I put the punty in so that when I'm ready for it, it will be ready. I'm going to marver the tip one more time. Above all, the bottom of the vessel has to be the thickest part. I blow the bubble bigger and then elongate the bubble to become a tube, and the tube cools quickly. If I blow a second time, just the lower thick part blows out. I make the constriction or neck, flatten the bottom, and time to transfer to the punty. I need to be able to hold this from the bottom, so I use this tool, the punty, often called the pontle. I marver it to a nicer shape, cool the tip, and put it on the bottom. And I squeeze the neck with the pincers and tap. The neck breaks. For the rim to be malleable, it needs to be about 13 or 1400 degrees Fahrenheit. When it broke just a moment ago, it was as low as about 1000 Fahrenheit. So it takes a moment to reheat this. I flash it to make sure that the punty is going to remain slightly soft so that the piece doesn't snap off the punty. I begin the opening process, and I'm going to make a pouring spout on this little vessel. There's the spout, flatten the back. There we go. Now, the most common ornament in Roman glass is the spiral thread. So here's a little glass. I'll marver it to a point and touch it to the rim and go around 2 or 3 times. That's called casting off. It's an elegant way of separating the glass from the gathering iron without having to use the shears. I'll gather again and put a little handle on this. Now I need the vessel to stay well above 1000 degrees Fahrenheit so that it won't crack. Roman handles are always flat. They're almost never round. Here's the first attachment point. I cut it free, leaving a shear mark, but Roman vessels never have shear marks. Here's the second attachment point, and I pull, make a thin thread, drag it along the hot glass, and cast off the excess glass. I'm going to give this quick flash to make sure that the spiral wrap stays hot. If it isn't well above 1000 degrees, it'll crack and pop off. And here's a a thumb rest, a very typical decoration in Roman glass. And there it is. I'll give this a flash. Make sure that the vessel stays hot while the handle cools. I might do that again. See, the handle is glowing. It's hotter than the rest of the vessel. If they cool at different rates, they'll crack apart. So now to separate it from the punty, I just tap it, and there it is. Now I'll put this in the annealing oven. It needs to be cooled to room temperature very slowly, and I'll just put that in the annealing oven. There we go.